that's another issue that you have to correct a different way. You can't correct middle D with your mouthpiece. You have to correct it here, and that's a whole other. I don't want to spend, I'm not doing a saxophone clinic here, so I don't want to spend any more time on that. But just remember, always tune the low F sharp for altos and bari, and middle B for tenor. Okay. All right. Okay. So I want to get that out of the way. Okay. So to me. By the way, just a little bit about myself. Obviously, I'm a saxophonist, and I got my degree at the University of North Texas Jazz Studies program, and I played in big bands, for years and years, and I still do. I playing one Wednesday night. The key to playing jazz is you're trying to create an energy. Okay. Now the energy level is going to vary from Creole Love Call to Don't Know Why to the last one, Gertrude's, yeah. So, but you're always trying to create energy and excitement and sometimes when you guys were playing, it was lacking that. And how do you think you can create more energy and excitement? Someone raise your hand. Yes, sir.
Articulation.
Okay, what do you mean by that?
Accents.
Okay.
So,
accents. Okay. I'm sorry, what was that other? Crescendos. Yeah. Sforzandos. You know what a sforzando is, right?
Yeah.
So, kind of a golden rule in the horn section is if you have, and we're talking that's something that's like medium tempo or higher, even on ballads too. You got to be careful on ballads with this, but if the note is like a quarter note or longer than a quarter note, you need to do something with it. Okay, so if it's a dotted quarter note or longer, you need to do something dynamically within that note. And generally speaking, it's going to be a, kind of thing. Okay, not, that doesn't really create energy, but. So I heard some of that. I heard the beginnings of that. You guys did it on occasion, but we need so much more of that. When you're doing it like a professional band would do it for the first time, you're going to feel like you're completely overdoing it. It's going to seem really inappropriate too, because it's very different than concert band, wind ensemble type, symphonic type playing. Okay, that's probably the majority of your musical experience at this point, right? So that's one of the major differences from, let's say, traditional or classical music to jazz, is the energy that you're going to create is going to be a lot more, throw this word out, extroverted, meaning more exciting, more up and down, there's just way more range, and it's going to happen a lot more frequently, okay? And it doesn't always say to do that on the music. That's the problem, is that they're not going to put every little nuance in there for you. You're just kind of supposed to know to do it. And so how are you supposed to know to do it? Well, your instructors will guide you there. The other big thing that hopefully you guys do, and I mentioned this right at the end of the judge of my tape, was you guys are lucky to live in a digital age where you have YouTube, especially YouTube. Spotify is fine, but videos of the great bands playing are incredibly important and educational. So like Creole Love Call. Who here has seen the Duke Ellington, has been to YouTube and looked up Duke Ellington playing that tune? Okay.
Yeah.
That's, raise your hands. Okay, that's a good start. Everybody, if you're in this band, you have a duty to do that, okay? Because the jazz, I call it the jazz, is not on the page. The notes and the rhythms do not make jazz. It's it's how you play the notes and rhythms. Do you understand what I'm saying? It's kind of like how you say something gives it completely different meaning depending on how you accent the syllables, right? And so you have to be very conscious of that, okay? And so the only way to really learn it, I can sit up here and I can tell you, accent this note and then sforzando over here and do that. We will do that, but the fastest way to learn is to listen to this music in a way that you've probably not listened to music before, like very, very actively, okay? And with intention and purpose. Meaning, so, what was your name, sir? Xavier. And this is, I'm just going to use him as an example. First of all, you have one of the most important roles in the band. And when I'm talking about energy level, the energy level that you play with will have a direct impact on the energy level that the horns will play with. If you don't play with any energy, they're probably not gonna play with any energy. And if they do, they're not gonna feel good about it. It's not gonna feel right for them to do that because you're not reinforcing them, okay? But if you play with a lot of energy, they're gonna play, it's gonna drive them, it's gonna support them, and it's gonna encourage them to do that. So one of the things that I was a little bit lacking was your hi-hat. You were playing it, but I could have used more, right? More just crack, more, you know, it was too polite. And that's the pulse of, that's the heartbeat of the band, is that 2 and 4 hi-hat when you're playing in a swing tune, right? So, you know, I'm not a drummer, and I know Mr. Giannis is, but and I've actually learned a lot in the last 2 days, listening, from these other clinicians, but, apparently getting your heel off the floor and getting more of your ball of your foot into the pedal instead of like anchoring, it's gonna give you, I'm talking about the hi-hat. Getting your heel off and like just kind of stepping into it more, it gives it a lot more leverage and weight, and it'll give more crunch and more power. We're all listening for that. I mean, professionals are, like horn players. That's our metronome, essentially. There's other places too, like the bass, of course. But that's important. Now, getting back to the video stuff, like, so pull up, go on YouTube and look up Duke Ellington, Creole Love Call, and watch it, but I want you to only listen to the hi-hat. Don't listen to the ride cymbal, don't listen to the trumpets, don't listen to the piano. Just spend one time going through it, only listening to the hi-hat, and that's it, okay? And it'll raise your awareness of what that sounds like, and what that, I'm not sure which drummer will be on it, because we had various drummers, but listen for that and get that, that, what is that sound? And what do I need to do to create that sound? And that goes to everybody in this whole band. So, who's the lead alto player for Duke Ellington? Hey. No. In the original Duke Ellington band, what's his name? So, okay, so that's important to know. Who was the lead trumpet player? Okay, so, if you're playing a Duke Ellington chart in your band, you should know the guy's name whose part you're playing. Who's the bass player? Harry Carney, okay? Johnny Hodges. And you guys did, it was it's the opening thing, okay? The second note you play, the second bar, you go 1. That's how Johnny played that note. Well, actually, he put a lot more vibrato in. Okay, he didn't go. But anyways, okay, like he put a huge bend into that note. He put a lot of vibrato on it.
We've worked on that. What are you doing to do that? Tell them what.
Okay, and that goes back to, now, again, I don't want to do a saxophone clinic here, but a lot of it's gear. You guys are all playing on your classical mouthpieces. And the analogy, I don't even know if you know that that's a classical mouthpiece, that there are different types of mouthpieces. Right, this is a jazz mouthpiece. Okay, the analogy I use is, imagine trying to play basketball in dress shoes. You can do it, but it's horribly uncomfortable, and it's going to slow you down, and you're probably going to get horrible blisters. Yeah, you're going to be slipping all over the place. Okay, so they make basketball shoes for playing basketball in. You know what I mean? Okay, so playing jazz on a classical mouthpiece feels like that to me. It's incredibly inhibiting, and I can do it because I have a concept of the sound I'm trying to create, but it's much more difficult to create that sound. Okay, so we can get in. Again, this is a whole different saxophone thing, but learning to bend pitches on your mouth, doing Remington on your mouthpiece. Center here. So, can you play that shot for me? Oh yeah. Okay, learning to do that on your mouthpiece. Now it's a different note for alto and bari, but learning to have flexibility just on the mouthpiece, and then you can have flexibility on the instrument, okay? Now again, those mouthpieces are not designed to be flexible. They're designed to like, you play the note and it just comes out. So jazz mouthpieces are a lot harder to control because they're a lot more flexible. It's kind of like playing a fretted bass versus a fretless bass. It's like you have to actually.
So do we try that?
Yeah, right now?
No,
No.
I mean,
Yeah.
do we look at doing that and getting those?
Yeah.
I mean,
Well, you don't want the $600 mouthpiece, but
No,
they,
you know what I'm saying.
they make really like under.
You tell me what to get and I'll.
Yeah. You know, we can talk more about that. You know, send me an email or something.
So we should really do that.
If you want to get an indicative sound for jazz band, yeah,
Yes.
for sure, totally.
Because
Yeah.
it's so hard for them on those levels.
Yes. Oh yeah.
But that's all we have. I mean,
I know, and it costs a little money, you know. But you know, for about $100, maybe a little less, you can get a decent jazz mouthpiece, and you can get. And they also make jazz reeds too. So you're not going to use your blue box Van Doren reeds or whatever it is you're using. You're going to use the green box Van Doren reeds. You know, again, I don't want to turn this into a saxophone thing because there's a lot of other things I want to get to. But yes, there's equipment specifically designed for this style of playing. Okay, so good. So all right, where is Lily? Lily? Lily. I kept saying Lily on the recording. It totally sounds wrong now when I think about it. Okay, really nice job. So whose part are you singing? Nora Jones, former North Texas. Actually, she was at North Texas while I was there.
Yeah.
And she was there for about a little under a year, and then she moved to New York, and then, you know. And it was so funny when she was there. She was very unassuming, very quiet. Nobody really knew she was Robbie Shankar's daughter, and
Yeah.
she didn't. And we
Well,
didn't know.
they didn't speak.
No, they didn't. And there was nothing. She was a great singer, but there was nothing special. I mean, she was good, but there was a lot of great singers. And the next thing you know, like, she's world famous. And she actually wanted to join our band, my band, and we told her no because we already had a singer. It's like we did her the biggest favor in the world. Anyway, so I liked your interpretation. One comment that, and I noticed it too, and the other judge wanted me to mention, is you kind of do, got the little turn thing, a little inflection thing, and that it's cool. I like it, but I'll never forget. I had a habit of scooping my notes a lot. You know, like, you know, play something. And my teacher was like, record yourself, and I want you to count how many notes you scooped. And I actually recorded myself, and I listened back, and I'm like, oh my gosh, I don't even know I'm doing that. Like, I have no idea. And it's cool, but you ever heard like it's too much of a good thing? It's like you do it here and there, like just a little bit, and it stands out to us. But if you do it, and every time you sing a phrase, it loses its specialness. That's a word, right? It kind of we start to notice it, but in a way that we don't really want to notice it. You know what I mean? It loses its, do it like maybe twice. Try it, and it's gonna be hard, because it's like an innate thing, you probably don't even know you're doing it. So that concert was recorded, so I want you to go back and count how many times you did it, and you're gonna be like, whoa. Yeah, but it's cool. I mean, you need to be able to be free with the melody, but you gotta kind of be careful with it too at the same time. So
Michaela did the same thing last year, and it was like, you get one.
yeah,
One scoop and that's it.
Yeah,
Maybe two.
well,
And we did the same thing.
and you can do other things, like you could do, you know, like a little, you know, like a smear or whatever, you know, something like that. And that's cool. But when you have one little thing that you do and you do it every time, it starts to, it gets too repetitive. Okay, so, but other than that, it was really nice. One of the comments I had also was just your phrase endings. Try to like sing all the way through and taper your notes away. They kind of just, you know, da da da. And they just kind of stop. But da da da. I'm no singer, but yeah. Kind of let the note just disappear. Don't let it just Okay, that's phrasing, okay, good stuff. All right.
Good stuff.
Yeah, it's but other than that, those little details matter, and we as professionals hear that, and that's what the great singers do. All that little tiny detail stuff really well, and it really does matter. Okay, so I kind of want to run Gertrude's. We don't have a whole lot of time, but I do want to find a spot where we can work on some of this shape. So like, probably more like the shaft chords, kind of maybe here. Yeah, that looks pretty good.
They do play like 18, they've got a second time of 18, they come in with the little company.
Yeah, yeah.
Or do that, or just like,
Yeah. 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 Yeah, let's do 18, second time.
Second time, pick up
Okay,
18.
so the reason we're doing this, sorry,
No, go.
the reason we're doing this is that I want to hear the saxophones go, now, this is a solo, tenor solo or something? No.
No, this is where they come in.
Okay, so the altos, you're going to be going like, dot. Hear that? It's totally different. So, yeah, that dot, it's a dot chord note. Remember I told you anything longer than the chord note, you need to do something. So,
Pick up say 18.
okay?
And that's for everybody that plays
Yeah.
it. 1, 2,
And actually they have to too. 1, 2, dot. Yeah. And it's gonna be weird, but just try it.
Over you.
Yeah. Oh, yeah.
And second time of 18. 1, 2, 3.
I'm gonna take everybody out. So tenor, Barry, trumpet 2, first bone. So everybody else that has 1, 2. I want to hear those people without rhythm section. Okay. So saxophones that have that, altos, let me hear you first, and tenor 2. 1, 2, 1, 2, ready, go. 1. Put some air into it. Like, yeah, low. 1, 2, 1, 2, ready, go. 1. Okay, like 10 times that much. Now, again, back to the mouthpiece thing. When you have a jazz mouthpiece, it has a lot more dynamic range in it, so it's a lot easier to do it. Trombones. No, actually, yeah, trombones. 1, 2, second time. 1, 2, 1, 2, ready, go. 1.
You come in on count 3. 1, 2,
Yeah.
da, da, da.
Breathe. So you should be breathing by beat 1 at the latest, right? So you're ready for that entrance.
Right here,
Yep.
right, set. 1, 2, 3, 4, 1, 2.
Okay, did you hear what I just did when he was counting in? He went 1, 2, 3, 4. I was getting ready for that, even though I wasn't playing. And I saw breaths going at the very end. So if you're not setting up, you're not going to be able to get it. Go.
Set. 1, 2. I'll give it to you.
1, 2, 3, 4.
1, 2, 3, 4, 1, 2. You need to breathe before. You're just not coming in on 3. Do it again. Ready, set. 1, 2, 3, 4, 1, 2.
Okay. All right, so the trumpets have it.
Everybody had trumpets, right?
Actually, none of the trumpets have it. Sorry.
So it's just trombones.
It's just saxes and some saxes, some trombone. Yeah. Let's hear the sax, those that have it. Okay.
Ready? And 1, 2, again. 2. 1, 2, 3, 4, 1, 2.
One of the great ways to do this, if I was sitting in the section with you and I was doing that, you guys would probably start doing it because you'd hear me doing it. You know what I mean? Okay, so I know that's 3 notes, right? That's 3 notes of this entire song. But you could spend 30 minutes working on that as a group and then learning how to do that. And then you just copy and paste that everywhere. In every chart you play, anytime you have some, I mean, I know it seems like crazy just to focus on 3 notes, but sometimes that's all you really need to do. And if you make those 3 notes sound great, and then you get the concept of that, then you can apply that around but in rehearsal, that's probably what I would spend time doing. You guys probably would go crazy playing 3 notes for half an hour, but that's what the great players do until they get it right. You know what I mean? So, but you have to have the concept in your ear of how it's supposed to sound, and that's where YouTube and all that kind of comes in. So don't forget about that. And actually, like I clinic the Canyon Vista jazz band up there.
Everybody's.
They feed Westwood High School.
Yeah.
And there's times where I come in where we just watch YouTube for 45 minutes. Because that's almost better than playing sometimes. And then kids walk out of the room singing it. Can you guys sing that? In North Texas, they would say, and doesn't that, you don't have to worry about pitches, but they would say if you can't say it, you can't play it. Okay, that was one of their big things. Okay, so another one was Airstream Artistry. Let's hear you do that. We call that sizzling, right? I'm gonna hear the saxophone go. One, so 1, 2, 3, 4, 1. Everybody, 1, 2, 1, 2, ready to go. 1, 2. Yeah, listen to me do it. 1, 2, 3, 4. First of all, you hear my preparation. 1, 2, 3, 4. You hear the intensity and energy in what I'm doing? Yeah, that will translate to the audience. Saxes one more time. 1, 2, 1, 2, ready to go. Yeah, so you can walk out of here down the hall practicing that. You can practice out in the car, you can practice out anywhere. Okay, and that goes for everybody. Okay, so hey, you guys got a really great thing going. Your director knows the stuff, and I love the fact that you guys were here today and played for us. And I hope you learned some good stuff today, and keep at it. All right, and hear more from you in the future. You guys are all going to end up at Austin High School, is that right? Is that you guys feed?
Crockett.
Oh, Crockett.
Crockett and Bowie.
Oh, okay, so you're kind of down more